Okay, so for 11.2, we're now going to be reviewing numbers. So stuff we've already gone over, we're just going to apply it. No new vocab. It literally is just the same numbers we've already worked on up to this point. We're going to look at a couple of different forms of numbers. There's cardinal numbers, right? So counting, age, reading the clock, money, cents and dollars, and then years. And then we're going to look at a little bit of length of time, 1 hour, 2 hours, stuff like that. Okay. So there's a great video that the book provides that I'm including here that goes over each of the different kinds. So I don't have to spend the time here. It's already on the video. Take a look at that. So to sort of build on that video now, we know what the hand shape for 3 is, right? So we've got 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So we keep it at the back of the hand. So 3 is the cardinal. Then age, and you always sign age first and then the number. So age 3, age 3, age 3. Okay. $3, $3, $3. You'll also some $3. Most of the time, you'll see the twist in numbers when it's a topic you're talking about. How much does that cost? So it's rare that out of the blue someone would go, 3 what? 3. So most of the time we'll have a context for it. So $3 or $3. Cent 3 for 3 cents. Cents, how many? 3. You'll also see 3 cents. But most of the time it's more ASL to go drop it down. Then clock. We always point to our wrist first for time. Time 3. Time 3. And notice I'm pointing it palm out. You wouldn't turn it back. We're now using the 3. If you're ordering 3 beers, you'd be like, 3. Everybody else can have their own. I want 3. So time 3. So just like we did with cents, we put the time first. We say cents 3 as opposed to 3 o'clock. We say clock 3. You'll also notice that you can start with the number. Touch it to your wrist and come up. But for right now, just touch 3. Touch 3. Minutes. Your hand is going to become the face of the clock, and you tick once for minute and second. Seconds tend to be faster than minutes, but in most cases, it doesn't. They're interchangeable. Minutes, seconds. Some people won't use the clock face. They'll use just the index finger, or a couple fingers. But this hand really doesn't matter. It's what this hand is doing. So a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or 3 minutes. Hours. Go around the clock face. 3 hours. 3 hours. You can also twist it around 3 hours. It tends to be more duration of, oh my God, it took 3 hours to do that. 3 hours. Days. This is the sign for day. It comes from the idea of the sun coming up, going, and then going down. So day. So you can either do day or day. You may have learned it 3 days, especially if you learn some sign in church signing songs. People will often do day because it's so beautiful. So you can do 3 days or 3 days. So we're incorporating the number. But again, the generic form always works. 3 days, 3 days, 3 days. Okay. Weeks. Week, 3 weeks, 3 weeks, or 3 weeks. We'll talk about the rule of 9, but I don't want to. Well, I suppose I can talk about it a little bit in this one. I'll add in a slide for it. You'll notice from 1 to 9, which is why it's called the rule of 9, we can oftentimes incorporate the hand shape into the type of sign. The reason why we can do that with 1 to 9 and not beyond is because those are static hand shapes for the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They don't change. The number itself doesn't change. Once we get into 11, it's a mobile. It's a moving. It uses movement within it. So, or a change of location, change of hand shape. So those make it more difficult to sign. For example, if I can do 1 week, and you can see that it's almost like the row of squares on a calendar, right? 1 week, 1 week. I can do 2 weeks. That makes sense. You can see the information. 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 9 weeks. But the moment you get to 10 weeks, all of a sudden, this is something different. This is something moving. It could be a very nervous person scuttling across the floor. 11, it's someone jumping, appearing, popping up like this, right? So that movement makes it difficult to understand what the number is. So 1 through 9, they're all static hand shapes. So we can easily switch out the one hand shape, which is the default, and put in a number, 9 weeks. Okay. And then we have months, which is back of the hand to back of the hand, and index fingers, and then rub the back of one index finger down the back of the other. Month. In my mind, it's like flipping over one of those calendars, a monthly calendar. Month, 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 month. So 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 9 months, right? And then 10 months. Now, with each of these, where you're applying a number to a vocab word, you can always separate them. That's the best way to learn them at first, is age 1, $1 or $1. In this, I should do it with this slide. So age 3, $3, 3 cents or cent 3, time 3, 3 minutes, 3 hours, 3 days. Let me go back. Cent 3, time 3, 3 minutes, 3 hours, 3 days, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 months. And then you could also incorporate it in there. It becomes hard. Once you start incorporating them, it's hard to not incorporate it. Love my coffee. Yeah, sorry, a little commercial there. So in the slideshow, go through a couple of ones, some of the more challenging hand shapes, 7, 10. Remember, 10, you have to separate them. 12, again, you have to separate them. 12, 15. Now, years, all years do is give you 2 pairs of numbers. Pairs are the building blocks of ASL because you can easily link any 2 handshapes together, any 2 letters, any 2 numbers. Once you get beyond 2, it becomes more confusing. So 2 tends to be the building blocks. It's what, when you fingerspell, 2 tends to be the base unit. That's the most easy. So for years, this will be really easy. It's just look at the first pair, second pair. So 12, 12. The year, 12, 12. 15, 02. So because these are not cardinal numbers, because they're ordinal, right? Email me if I've gotten that flipped. Right now, I haven't had enough coffee. So 15, and then the 2 is going to be palm forward. 1502. We always do the O when we're counting, when we're using the numbers, because we need that placeholder. 1902. Sometimes the O just looks like a fist because we're transitioning and going fast, but we want that placeholder. 400 2, 400. Well, we haven't gone to hundreds yet, but when we do get to the hundreds place, 02, we always do the 02. So 1202, 1502. Okay. 19. And again, remember, with the teens, we want to do the 10-9. It's the best way to learn it first. Then all the other ones are easy to learn from that. So 19, 10-9, 11. I believe the book emphasizes that you should do it, boom, 19, 11. I want to watch the video again because that's one that can slip by. Some people will emphasize all you have to do is once. I do it twice. And I found most deaf people I know do it twice or a couple times quickly so that it's really clear it's 11. It doesn't look like 1901. So, little heartbeat. 2007. Can sign, well, we haven't gotten to thousands, right? But 2007. But even though we say that in English, that's not really what it means. It doesn't follow the format of years. So we're going to trade the other way. 2007. 2007. 20. So it's 20. Much better than 220. That's awkward. 20, because then that thumb starts sneaking out and it becomes 30. So we use the L. 2007. 2007. Okay. And then 2014. 2014. Again, I use the 2 taps for each of those. $1, cent 5. $1, cent 5, or cent 5. This is also where you could say $2.15, $2.15. If we know we're talking about money. But otherwise, if you just say $2.15, the person doesn't know if you're talking about chapter and verse, a time, an amount of money. So that's why it's important to have that, to set the context. So $2.15. And again, if you set dollars, then any number that follows, we're going to assume is cents. But for the full picture, $2, cent 15. $2, cent 15. $6, cent 11. Okay, so we just continue that pattern all the way through. And really, the rest of the slideshow in class would be just a random thing where I would hit the next slide, point to someone, and get them to answer what that is. So do the same thing for yourself. Just practice with whatever pops up. So we've got some times. So 2 hours. We got 2 hours, or 2 hours, 5 minutes. 2 hours, 5 minutes. Okay, so that's the full generic form. Then you could do 2 hours, 5 minutes. Or time, if we're talking about 2:05, time 2:05. So whatever the number is on the clock face, then the minutes. So here, we're just looking at number challenge. And let me just double check, make sure. Oops. Let me jump one forward. For you in the homework, too many notebooks, sorry. In class, I would say, talk amongst yourselves, but quick and right. I just want to make sure that talk amongst yourselves. I have this one tabbed. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, this is, for some reason, I'm like, I'm not supposed to teach the vocab at this point. No, this is the title, be quick, be correct. Let me put it. Ampersand. Right. The number challenge. Okay. So this is where I just flip. What's the sign for age? Right? So 1 year old. Old one. Now you can do 1 year as opposed to 1 month. 1 month. Age 1 year. Cool. So it's good to know both forms, the full form and the short form. And then we're going to fly through. So I'm just going to leap through 5 minutes, 5 days. So the same thing we did where giving one number and go through all the forms. Now we're just being specific, going through a couple of different ones. La, 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 la. Some years. 1912. 1912. 1410. Now, for the the middle 00 years. Just tip that back. Okay. So for the middle 00 years, we can, 2005, 2005. Sometimes you will see 2 and it drops down and comes up to the 5, 2005. That's how the 2000 comes into it. Is rather than 2005, is we tend to go 2005, 2, and drop it down like we're saying 1000, 2005. Because if you look at it, there's a 2 on one end and a 5 on the other and nothing in the middle. So 2005, 2001, 2001, a space odyssey, 2002, 2002, okay, 2009. But I looked down and I found something. 2009. So this would take up a good few minutes in class. So next we have just the simple homework. It's this is also on the worksheet that's in on Blackboard. So watch the video, and she will sign. So the thing to think about is, what is it she's signing? What's the number? And then what type? Which of these types? Is it cardinal, age, year, clock, or time number, money numbers, years, or lengths of time? For how long? So just take note of both of those things as you go through each one. And again, the worksheet that I'm including in Blackboard will have the answers. So take a look at that. The last worksheet is explain the number. And there's a little cheat sheet down at the bottom of how many of each there are. Because with there being 20, it's easy to get a little bit distracted. So once you've checked one off, you're fine. But for example, so just said, let me voice for what he said. I went, movie, bought popcorn. Whoa, expensive, $7.15. Okay. And you know it's 15 because it's the back of the hand as opposed to 05 to the front, right? So we did 15, $7.15. Okay, so notice how I was using the short form. Even if you didn't know what this was, or this, you can see where he uses the numbers, right? So that's the big thing. You're going to have to watch all these videos a couple times, right? So watch the little segment, go back. And I will fix the, shouldn't have the black borders on this, but I think it's because it's not done processing this video in the slideshow. And I also include this in the videos at the bottom. So by all means, then, then here are all the videos incorporated into one. So this is 1102. There's not that much new information. It's just sort of building on the numbers that we already have.